Welcome to Empowered by Iron, the podcast for female strength athletes by female strength athletes. We're your co-hosts, Kristen Lander from Fiercely Field Nutrition Coaching and Mary Morton, PhD student. All right, guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about gym culture and the importance of it and how to create it if you're lacking the proper gym culture to succeed in the gym. So, Mary, let's just start by talking about what is our ideal gym culture, because it's different for everyone. Mm-hmm. So what is your ideal, your perfect idea of gym culture?
So I think we can start with a very general description of something that maybe, even though it can't be universal, we could start with some things that are universal, which is like respect towards other people, positivity, giving your all, and bringing other people up. I think that that's an ideal gym culture. Whether we're talking equipment or, the space or how many people or whatever, I think the four main things are just that. You respect people, you're positive, and the other two I said.
Yeah. Well, and I would throw in safety in there.
Yeah.
It feels like a safe space for you, but it's also, the way things are set up is also safe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. For me, a good gym culture is a place that I don't dread to go. I love training, but sometimes for a while, or that doesn't make sense. If I'm dreading to go to the place that I love doing something, I need to reevaluate. If I don't like the space in which I'm trying to do the thing that's one of the most important things to me,
yeah,
I should have to evaluate. I should feel safe. I shouldn't feel judged. I should feel happy, and that's kind of the basics.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that really leads us into the importance of gym culture, right? Because it creates a positive place where everyone is trying to get better. That is what a gym should be doing. Mm-hmm. And
whatever better is for you. Better might be healthier, better might be lose weight, better might be get stronger. Whatever better is, it's your goal you're working towards.
Yep. And so I think that all gym owners set out to create that space.
Yes.
And sometimes the people that come to that space might be bringing things down.
Yeah. And I think an issue comes in with a lot of gyms is because it is a business, and if they don't set that culture off right, mm-hmm. initially, they're never going to get it under control. They're afraid to say, hey, I'm going to take a little hit for my business and ask these individuals to leave because they are ruining the culture here. Right. Whether it be that they don't respect the equipment, they don't respect other people, they're just being complete jackasses at the gym. A lot of gyms see those people as dollar signs, and so that's all that matters.
Right.
The nice thing about going to a very specific gym, like a powerlifting gym or a weightlifting gym, is that there's no room for bullshit. Right. If you show up and you're bringing people down, you will be asked to leave.
Right.
They don't care. Well, yeah, I would say most gyms, there's a huge proportion of gyms that if they find out that you are being an asshole towards your teammates, they will either have a very strong talk with you, they might suspend you from the team mm-hmm. for a while to make you think about what you did, but likely they'll just say, you know what, we don't need you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the one of the importances of having such a positive gym culture is that energy of everyone working towards a goal or yes. something, and then not even necessarily the same goal, but everyone working really hard and busting their ass towards something. That energy creates this snowball effect, and everyone can feed off of it. And mm-hmm. I think that is where the magic happens. That is where people get better exponentially. That's where you improve and hit your goals and set new goals.
And this, if you're training alone, this doesn't not apply to you. You can still go into your environment and create a good environment where you're positive and you're happy and you're trying to get better and you're giving 110%. It's harder because it's a lot easier to be having a bad day and come in and be like, oh, what a bad day, and look at your training partner and they bring you up and then everything's fine. But you should be able to create a positive gym culture if you're on your own.
Right. Right. Yeah, and that goes back to one of the first episodes we did was about, I think, the power of positivity in training.
Yes.
And that goes back to that because if you set your mindset appropriately, I mean, even though training on your own is hard, but you know,
can do it.
You can absolutely do it. And then, you know, reach out to people on Instagram or Facebook and make, you know, friends with people that do what you do, and
Yes.
you can talk to people that way. And but I will say one thing is, if you've got a training partner, and one of the beautiful things about having people to train with, and we talked about that energy just building, but and it's awesome because if you come into the gym after having like a really hard day or you're really tired or whatever, that you can feed off of that energy. But if you're always trying to borrow everyone else, you're relying on other people's energy to lift you up, like you can't be that person that's draining everyone. You have to
Right.
contribute to that. So, you know, if you always come into the gym and you're always like, I'm so tired, and that's all you talk about when you're there, like you're gonna drag everyone down. Like you gotta, you know, maybe talk about it in the beginning and then get to work.
Yeah. Or it might even be a bigger issue. You might need to step back and be like, do I really even like this?
Yeah.
Like,
that
is this
too.
something that I like, or do I need to try something else? Because there's no shame in trying something and not liking it. Literally no shame.
Right. Yeah, so the things that I see that just don't belong in an ideal gym culture, regardless of what you're doing and what your needs are that kind of negativity, judgment, like we talked about, and I even mean just judgment in terms of your political or religious or sexual orientation, whatever
Yeah.
your beliefs are.
Leave that at the door.
Yeah, leave that at the door and just find common ground on loving to train. And that's what's so cool about these sports is that you can get people from all backgrounds and all beliefs, and
Training next to each other side by side, like there's no difference at all.
absolutely, yep. Also, I think gossip is huge. Like, don't be gossiping about your teammates or...
Yeah, especially if they're in the same room. Like, there's no need for that nonsense.
Right. And that goes back to the respect part. Like, be respectful. Be respectful of each other. Be respectful of the equipment. Put your stuff away.
Yeah, that's a big thing about gym culture is finding people who not only respect people but respect the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing more frustrating than showing up in a gym and having weights already on bars that have just been left there for days or however long they've been there. And then you, even though it's not your shit, you go in and you have to clean it up.
You have to put it away so that you can use the space.
Right, and it's not even like, it's not even a matter of, well, I'm not going to put it away because it's not mine. Like, no, it's in your space. Like, you have to put it away, otherwise you can't do what you need to do.
Yeah, I hate that so bad.
That's the wrong kind of gym culture. Like, you should have people in your gym who respect the equipment and respect your wishes to put the equipment away.
Right.
And if they don't, like we said before, they need to be reprimanded. There has to be, if it's a small gym and, you know, it's a barbell club or whatever, and the barbell owner sees that, they're not going to put up with that nonsense.
Right.
You probably get one shot to put your shit away, and if you don't, that's it.
Yeah, because ultimately it comes down to respect again. Like, if you are leaving all your crap out and just walking out of the gym, then what you're saying is that you respect your time more than your teammate or your coach's time, and you expect them to pick up after you because your time's more important than their time.
Right.
And I think that's bullshit.
Total bullshit.
Other thing that really drives me crazy is laziness in the gym. Cannot stand it. Like, we all, you know, the majority of us all work and train, right? And have families and whatever, and we're really busy.
We're spread thin.
Yeah, and if you can't give 100% in the gym, I mean, there are times where you might not be able to, but overall, if you're like constantly just skipping out on half of your programming or just bitching about your programming nonstop and like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do this instead. And if you're constantly doing that, like, that's just laziness. Just do what you're supposed to do and maybe bitch about it for a second and then do it. You know, we all have things that we don't want to do in the gym. My coach is great at programming things that I really don't fucking want to do because he knows I need to do them.
You.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that. It's like, I appreciate you trying to make me better. I really hated that, but that's all right, because I'm going to get better. And you just do it. Like, you just buckle down and you do it. But, like, half-assing shit, that, in my opinion, like, that just, and that's that kind of energy that spreads. Like, whatever energy you're bringing into the gym, it's going to spread. So if that's something that you struggle with, you need to stop it right now, because it's going to spread to other people and it's going to get worse.
Yeah. Just commit to yourself that you're going to do what's written. Do it all. If you can't do something that's written because you simply don't have the equipment, find an alternative. Like, make something work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that kind of leads us into, like, how to create a positive gym culture, or the gym culture that you want. Because, we've all trained in places that, you're there for a while and you're like, something's not working. Like, this isn't really working for me.
You kind of dread going in. Even though you love training, you dread going to the place.
Yeah, that's a really big key, that something needs
Something's
to change.
really wrong.
And you maybe don't have to change gyms. Like, maybe you can be that person who steps up and says, all right, I'm going to try to strengthen this community here. I'm going to try to bring people together. I'm going to be supportive of everyone, even if they're doing different things. If you train in a gym that is like multi-use, you have powerlifting and weightlifting and CrossFit, and if you have everything together, or it's more of a globo gym, like, be that person that is, like, so positive. You're making other people feel good about their training, because that's going to make you feel good about your training too.
And I would be careful, just a word of caution. Kristen said training, so if you are a weightlifter or a powerlifter and you're going to a more generalized gym, I mean, there's nothing against you going up to the people who work on the machines and do the cardio and saying hi, but I would caution you to don't be mean to them, but if you really want to cultivate a good environment, go up to the people who are doing similar things to you.
Yeah.
And talk to them. Even if they're doing bodybuilding, it'd be great if you guys are in the same area doing similar things, just to talk and have someone who could watch your lifts and say, good job, even if they don't really know what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Just having someone there to support you, I think, is awesome. And that's kind of how we got to be friends, is we were both training in the same gym, doing different things.
Yeah.
And,
Ta-da.
yeah, you came up to me and you were like, hey, I saw you're actually, like, lifting. I actually lift too. Like, I'm a real lifter too.
And that's exactly how we became friends. And then we tried to start a weight club in that gym to try to cultivate the environment we wanted.
Yep.
And ultimately just decided to make our own space.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I think, like, leading by example, like, being that person
that puts away equipment, that takes care of the space, that is respectful, that makes a safe environment for other people. That's what you want in gym culture. You don't want to walk in and be like, well, is that person going to even say hi to me today? Like, is that person going to talk shit about me today? Because yesterday I know she talked shit about this person and I heard it. Is it me next? Like, you don't want to walk into that environment and be questioning your own self and your own self-worth.
Yeah.
You want to go in and just lift.
Yeah, because training is hard enough as it is. Like, if you're training, 2 to 3 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, it's hard.
This petty bullshit too.
Yeah, you don't need to be putting up with that. And that sounds like the absolute worst. I couldn't train in an environment like that. That would not go well for me at all. Yeah, so I guess, you've got to be the one to give it your all and lead by example. And if things don't improve, or it's just, if you're feeling bad about the place, that's, like, a key that maybe if you can't change things, maybe find a place with gym culture that suits your needs better. Maybe it's not that anything is necessarily wrong with that gym or that facility. It may just be that it doesn't really align with what you need.
Right. And don't be afraid even if I've been in a space for a long time, and maybe you have some training partners. If those training partners are shitty training partners, if they come in and they're just terrible, they don't do what they're supposed to do, and they are bringing you down, and don't be afraid to leave them.
Yeah. Or I would say something to them, like, hey, man, like, you're kind of slacking off, because maybe people just need someone to call them out on their bullshit. Like, I appreciate being called out on my bullshit,
Yeah. No, that's true.
Because that's how you grow as a person. You're like, oh, shit, yeah, you know what?
I am being
kinda
a whiny bitch.
Yeah, I am being a whiny bitch. You're right. I'm going to get to work. And then like, you give that person an opportunity to change for the better. And I think that's cool. But if they still don't and they're like, fuck off, well then, okay.
Maybe it is time to fuck off.
Right. But I will say that I think having the right gym culture is like this magical thing where you're suddenly capable of far more than you ever thought possible. And so if you are going to the gym and you're not feeling that, try to create it, because once you have it, it's amazing. It's magical. Like the facility that we train in right now is
The best.
It is, and it's dirty and stinky and hot as hell.
Humid.
And nasty, and we love it because we've created an environment that it's everything that we need because we created it. So
Right.
it's super supportive, and everyone gives 100% when they're there, and it's amazing the things that can happen when you do
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid to find or create what
Gym
you need.
culture. Yeah. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, you can email us at empoweredbyiron@gmail.com. On Instagram, we are at empoweredbyiron as per usual. And we'd love to hear what gym culture you guys have. Have you had to go out of your way to create a good gym culture? Have you left a gym culture? Like, what is your gym story? Let us know in the comments on our Instagram post for this episode. We'd love to hear from you guys. All right, and I think until next week.
See ya.
Bye.